Hey guys, welcome back to the Cast and Spear Podcast. My name is John, and today we have back on the show Ted Harty from Immersion Freediving. Yesterday we talked about how not to kill yourself freediving. Today we are going to talk about why you should probably think about taking a class. Hey Ted, welcome back to the show.
Great, thanks for having me on. I'm happy to be back.
Perfect. So I want to know, I've taken a class. I think it's tremendously impactful into my freediving and spearfishing. But for those who are kind of on the fence, what would you tell them?
So I'm not aware of a single thing that would improve anyone's freediving performance, whether it's for spearfishing, for freediving, for basket weaving, for photography, for whatever the heck it is you do underwater, than taking an in-person freediving class. There's so many benefits to doing that. So I would say, first off, if you know me or follow me, or maybe you listened to the last episode, you know that I'm very passionate about freediving safety. And the best way to learn to be safe is to take a freediving course where you're going to get hands-on skills on how to save your buddy if they have a problem. You're going to see, all right, this is what a lost bow control looks like. This is what a blackout looks like. And then you're going to get a chance to practice those things. And you're going to mess them up. And the instructor is going to say, nope, that's not right. You got to change this. Don't do this. Do that, and then do it again, right? And then you're going to repeat and repeat and repeat. And that's how you get what we call muscle memory, right? So that you can be more effective. If you're required to save someone's life from a blackout, you're going to want to have spent that time, and money, to learn how to be able to do that, right? To learn how to be able to save your buddy. So first off, the amount of safety information that and skills that you're going to get in a freediving class, it seems to me like a no-brainer. When I took my first freediving class, I had no idea how dangerous the things I was doing. And I was a scuba instructor who was known as being like super safe, but I was being incredibly unsafe as a freediver. I just didn't know any better. Some other things that, again, I always base things on what I see from my students, right? Most of my students are spearfishermen, probably say 80-90% of spearfishermen. And I've been doing this for 12 years. So when I watch my students do things, I feel like I'm seeing what most people are doing. Maybe never have I seen a spearfisherman come in my program in the pool and do what I call the entry, which is basically how you get from the surface to the first 10, 12 feet, right? I don't think I've ever seen one do that and their kick and not been like, wow, there's so much room for improvement, right? There's so many things that this person could do to be more efficient and more streamlined, right? So, my background is a competitive freediver, right? Is competitive freediving the same as spearfishing? No, of course it's not. But competitive freedivers, we know a lot about diving stupidly deep and staying down there a really long time. And these are two skills that any spearfisherman should be like, dang, I wish I had those skills, right? So one of the things that we do, if you take a freediving class, is you're just going to be that instructor is going to be a lot more analytical of things that the average spearfisherman, average freediver doesn't really think about. They don't really think about how they're kicking. Everyone listening to this podcast has a kick, meaning if you kick the same way every time, you don't think about it, you just kick. And what I will tell you is, I don't think I've ever seen a student come in my program where I didn't see, yes, we could make a lot of improvement on that kick so that you're going to be more streamlined, spend less energy, be more efficient on the way to the bottom. So, and again, watching the YouTube video is cool, but you need that instructor to be like, no, not like that. Do it like this. That's better, but now tuck this foot in, right? Now you're not so wide, right? And so you get that experience from the instructor, which is really, really useful.
Yeah, I definitely think the feedback and that quick feedback, those little tweaks are very important, which is like absolutely you don't get. It's not like you have a mirror in the pool trying to see what you saw on YouTube. So we talked about rescue skills. We talked about the tactical things and the energy saving, the entries. How about keeping your breath or being able to hold your breath longer? Is that something that they teach you in the courses?
Yeah, so any freediving course is going to teach anyone how to hold their breath longer, right? So many people say things like, freediving looks cool, or spearfishing looks cool, but I can only hold my breath for 45 seconds. I can only hold my breath a minute. I feel like I'm going to die after I do that, right? So anyone can hold their breath, right? Okay, almost anyone can hold their breath for 2 to 3 minutes easily, right? So I remember this was oh my God, 10 years ago. Wow, it's a long time ago. I was at a DEMA, which is the big scuba diving trade show. I had a bunch of scuba divers around. There was a tank there so that the scuba divers could like test out the latest regulator or whatever, gear they wanted to try on. And we did a breath hold seminar. So I had 8 people, no free diving experience. I said, all right, breath hold contest, 3, 2, 1, who can hold the breath the longest? Longest one was 47 seconds, right? And he's, oh, that was terrible. I almost died, right? So it was the longest out of 8 people was 47 seconds, right? Not free divers. I spent 15 minutes with them, and I got 6 of the 8 people to do a 3-minute breath hold, right? It's all technique, right? The average spear fisherman is doesn't, they've got too many things to be focused on from a spearfishing side of things, so they're not as aware of the freediving side of things. So you start learning about proper breathing for freediving, right? You start learning how to do diaphragmatic breathing. You start to you get to do what's called static apnea, which is just where you do breath holds in the pool. And so people are always shocked how long they can hold their breath. And the pool is a great way to kind of see what you've got in you. And the biggest thing is it's confidence, right? When you realize, like, let's say my intermediate students, they typically do a 4 to 5 minute breath hold in the pool, right? They also learn in class that a 100-foot dive using proper technique and form only takes a minute, right? So when they realize, wait, I just held my breath for 5 minutes, and this 100-foot dive, which I think is impossible, is like no one but like Superman could do. You're telling me it only takes 1 minute, and I held my breath for 5 minutes, and then they start to see like, like maybe this is something that could be done. So it's any freediving class is going to be able to teach anyone how to hold the breath longer, 100%.
So I know that people, if they're in the Florida area, can hit you up. Where should they find like a class near them, or is there resources for them to like look up, or is it just Google it?
So I would say, I'm actually not teaching right now. At the moment, I've actually moved up to the North Georgia mountains. And after 12 years of being a human yo-yo, that's what I call teaching freediving classes up and down the line, I'm definitely taking a break. So as far as where to find, like in Florida, Florida Freedivers runs a bunch of classes, Drift Freediving, they run a bunch of classes. I know Errol's really active. He's a FII instructor. You can also go to, there's Bob Fanuc and Title Freedom. Anyway, if you go to freedivingsafety.com, there is a section there for locate a class, right? And I've got a bunch of classes from a bunch of different instructors, all the different agencies that you can find. So that's a good way to do it. And if you're interested in the increasing your breath hold, I have a program called Breath Hold Secrets, which teaches just that side of it. Obviously, it's not a substitute for a whole class, but it does teach the same techniques that I would teach in my program if you came and took a course with me.
Perfect. I'll put that link in the show notes for you guys. And then there's one other topic that I've kind of noticed, and I haven't really heard many people talk about, and it's like there's been a couple, spear fishermen who unfortunately have passed away, and a lot of them were, like level 1 at least, freedive class takers. And I guess my thing is, for those who have taken the class, it's not like a panacea away from like a blackout. So it's like, how do you get that through somebody's head? It's like you don't put a cape on, they don't give you a badge saying, hey, now that you're certified, you can go do whatever you want, Superman. What do you say to that?
Yes, so that's a really, 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 really good question. What I will tell you is taking a freediving class, really doesn't make you safe. I have parents that call me and they say, I want to get my, little Johnny in here because I worry about him being safe. I'm like, all right, I'm happy to teach little Johnny and it will, it will help. But in essence, what this class will do is it will make it so if little Johnny's buddy has a problem, that person will be fine, right? But if no one's taking care of little Johnny, then the fact that you've taken a freediving course, a freediving course gives you the ability to save the people around you. But what happens is people, and the reason I know this is it happened to me. When I was an instructor the first 2-3 years, I won't go into the whole story, but I found out none of my students were implementing what I taught, right? So taking a freediving class and learning how to rescue your buddy and being the best blackout rescuer on the planet, you can blow, tap, talk like a boss, and then you go out spearfishing and your buddy goes this way and you go that way. That knowledge that you have in your head about how to save someone or how to be safe, if you're not implementing it, it's of no use to anyone. So what I would say is, if you took a freediving class, I guarantee your instructor didn't say it was okay to dive by yourself. I guarantee you he didn't say it's okay if your buddy comes up and you're like 50 or 100 foot away and you like wave at each other. That instructor said you want to be right next to that person so that if they have a problem, you can fix it. So for me, it's about how to get buy-in on that. How can I convince these people? Because they're going to leave me and I can't control what they do. So I work really hard to convince them to implement these procedures, because taking a freediving class and not implementing them, it really doesn't make you safe at all.
Yeah, that's perfect. And I've almost kind of made it a point to only start diving with people who have gone through a freediving course, just to at least know that they've spent a weekend to care about safety and getting better, so that they could save me, because I'll probably be little Johnny and do something wrong. So I think that's a perfect place for us to stop. If you want to learn more about immersion freediving, hit up Ted at immersionfd on all the socials. Check out all the links that immersion freediving has, and I'll leave them in the show notes. And tomorrow we're going to be talking a lot about shallow water blackouts. So thanks, Ted, for coming on the show. Hey, one more thing before you go. Are you looking for other folks who like to catch fish? Well, if you are, join our free fish catchers group on Discord. Just like a little club, just with like-minded people who like to catch fish, share knowledge. Just head over to castandspear.com/club for a link, and it'll go straight over there. Whether you like to spearfish, surf fish, kayak fish, you name it. If you just like to catch fish, we want to chat. All right, see you guys in there.